everyone, welcome to Kensington Live. I don't have any, you were probably like turning up your volume like, I don't have any music. What's happening? Well, I don't have any music. This is Crew and a Tour. So there's no like, opening music. What was I supposed to do? And I'm trying to avoid copyright as much as possible. Welcome to Kensington Live. This is show number 22. Doesn't seem like a lot, or maybe it does. I don't know. Seems like a lot to me. In about a week and a half, we will have been doing Kensington Live for 2 months. That is crazy. So thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. I was leaving you some time to get on and start watching, and we've got a few people watching, so that's good. Tonight, we're doing something different than what we've done in the past. We've been obviously doing Kensington Live every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday night at 7 p.m. And talking with casts. We've done some cast reunions, and those have been so much fun. And then every Saturday night at 7 p.m. we do Improvinators at 7 p.m. At the improv troupe, and it has been so much fun. But tonight we're doing something different. We're going to celebrate Crew. We've got some great Crew people that are going to come on and talk about being on Crew, different aspects of Crew. And then Tony's going to give us a VIP that's what I'm calling it, a VIP tour of the theater. It's so good. It's going to be so good. She's laughing. Stupid camera. Why does it do this? Those of you who watch, you know that it does it. Those of you who don't are like, what? What just happened? Anyways, you're in for a treat with the tour. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's just something different, something fun to do, and something that affects theater, and especially our theater is Crew, and also the building and the theater and all these things that contribute to a production. So this is just as important as a cast is to our shows. So I think tonight will be a lot of fun. Of course, like I said, we do this every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and you can be watching from two places, either through Kensington Theatre Company's Facebook page or through Kensington Theatre Company's YouTube channel, whichever one is fine. And a few things. One, we're live, so things might happen. We have had people disconnect that were on the screen and they just disappear, and we fix it, and we deal with it. But also sometimes we have disconnected from. Usually it's Facebook is where we disconnect from. And they just told me that it's because so many people are doing live streams and all sorts of, live events and media sharing that sometimes they disconnect. So if for any reason we disconnect from either Facebook or YouTube, go to the other one. Just look up Kensington Theatre Company, YouTube, or on Facebook, and you'll find the live stream, and just check that we're not completely stopped, okay? Second thing is comments. Wherever you are, I'm just reading. Adam Adam watches. Ultimate hide and seek. That's what I call when my camera goes out of focus. Is where's Logan? Oh, that's so funny. And Adam says YouTube is superior. That's what I've heard. But you can be watching on Facebook. It's totally fine. But as you just saw, wherever you're watching from, comment in the comments. We want your comments. One, I want. If you have been on Crew and you're watching this, or maybe you are on Crew, yeah, I hope you are. Will you put in the comments your favorite memory or your favorite story about being in Crew, or maybe one of your favorite shows that you've been a tech or Crew on, and put it in the comments so we can highlight you, because that's what we want to do tonight. Also, I want to know is what I want to know is what is the best part about being on Crew. So you can put your favorite story, or you could put what is the best part about being on Crew, or tech, or lights, or all that is Crew. Or what has been the hardest thing? What has been the hardest thing to build? What has been the hardest thing to strike? What has been the whatever? Okay, I just want to know, and we'll put it up on the screen and we'll reminisce. And because of course we'd love to have all of these Crew people on, but of course StreamYard, the program that we use, only lets us put on 6 people on at a time on the screen, and 10 people backstage. So we'll get you through the comments, okay? So put it in the comments, and I'll put it up on the screen, okay? Last thing is if you have not been following along with all 21, this is 22, 21 shows of Kensington Live, you can go back and watch all of them on either the YouTube channel or on Facebook. Doesn't matter. They should all just be there. You can go watch them all. They're about an hour to an hour and a half usually. And they have been so much fun. We've raised like $2 million or something, and it's incredible. Where did that money go? Who knows? I love all of the comments that are coming in. Adam, I've loved being a member of Stage Crew, both ELA and Kensington. This will be awesome. Crew has changed my life. I can't imagine my life without it. Love it. Cassandra's going to be on in a second, but she says, go Crew. Yeah. And then we got a whole bunch of comments about what's the hardest. So we'll get into those in a second. I think that's it. Other than we're gonna do this, and we're gonna talk about Crew, but of course we do this Kensington Live every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday to try and bring some connection and some laughter. Hopefully you can laugh and have a good time and reminisce on some things that you maybe don't get to participate in right now, like theater or Crew. And so what I ask every time is, we're all in this together. Yeah, you can cue the music, you can dance. But will you just reach out to 3 people and make sure that they're doing okay every day? It can be the same 3 people. It's really easy. And I have my people that I reach out to, and you can change it up and do 3 different people every day. It doesn't matter, okay? But we just reach out to 3 people and make sure that they're doing okay, and make sure that our family, our friends are doing okay during these crazy times. All right, I'm getting instructions. Okay, should we welcome them in? Are they ready? Okay, I'm going to welcome in Tony and or everybody that's with her. They said to put on the remote. Ta-da! Look at Tony in the theater. I love it. She's doing twirls and dancing. I love it. I love it. Yay!
It's my remote cam called Selah.
I love it. I love it. We'll go to the remote cam throughout the show. I love it. It's like we're you can see it's like Inception. I love it. We'll go to the live cam every so often.
Yeah.
I like it. Well, Tony, this was mostly your idea, because you were like, let's do Crew and talk about Crew. And then you're like, ooh, and we could do a tour of the theater. And I said, that sounds so much fun. So I got a whole bunch of pictures and stuff, and we have a whole bunch of comments of Crew people that I can put up. But whatever you wanted to do, let's do it.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. I think if you know me, you know how much I insist that we respect Crew, because they are the unsung heroes of the performing arts. Cool. And truly, their biggest joy is to never be seen. And so I want to sing. Even the Crew members we brought on, they're like, we don't really want to be seen. Well, some are actors, like Cassandra, but they really, truly love just being backstage and making everybody look good. So I thought, hey, let's give a whole thing. Let's celebrate Crew tonight. Let's celebrate the Crew kids. I love hearing my students' comments. They're so awesome. Great kids. Hi, you guys.
I know. They've got a lot of good stories, and
maybe I should make sure that you don't get all of them on there.
Well, it's okay. I like some of these. These are good. They're talking about different shows and scary moments. Adam has one scary moment. So whenever you want, we can put them up on the screen and talk about them.
Yes, they were super fun. I think that it might be fun to bring on some of the other. Hey, Selah, go find another spot. Like, why don't you go up there, just for fun, or up in there?
We'll follow the remote cam as.
You're on, boy, little girl. So fast. Anyway, I thought let's bring in some of the Crew kids first.
Let's do it.
They're so fun.
Jacob,
Jerry,
Jake, and
good job.
I love it. Should I bring on the other 2? We only have 2 more.
Yeah, let's do it all.
Boom.
Hello. Hi, Brooklyn.
Hi. Who's got the dog?
It was me. Sorry.
Stop barking.
I get nervous around people.
And you start to bark. Awesome. Well, these guys, I can do a little introduction. You know them, but Jacob did ELA crew with me. And you didn't really do it in high school, did you? Just kept doing it with Kensington?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so he's become a staple stage manager with us. And Brooklyn as well. She started ELA crew, so did Job. They're all my kids.
Yep.
And then they came back and they stage managed. Sorry, you guys are frozen. Am I frozen? Oh, there we go. And then Cassandra was a Kensington kid, and she's also a stage manager. So these kids, stage managers don't start out as stage managers. Stage managers start out as crew, and they learn to do the lights and the sound and build the sets. And then when I see leadership skills in them that I feel like they can command a cast, I ask them to stage manage. And so, because they need to understand all the elements, because you'll hear their stories. They need to know how to do lighting. They need to do sound. They need to know how to problem shoot, all the things that make up crew. So, why don't you ask them some questions? Like, what was the first question? Like, what's great?
What I was going to say is, what is your favorite part of being on crew? I mean, some of you haven't been in it for a while, but what's your favorite part? Is there a favorite thing or a favorite aspect of crew that you like? Should we start with Jerry?
No.
Okay.
I can go first.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Okay. I think my favorite part is because I started acting way before I even thought of crew. Maybe not way before, because I joined crew in 7th grade and I started acting in 6th. But I never thought that I would really want to be in stage crew. But being able to see the other side of how real theater is put together, and understand every different aspect of it, and not just the storytelling per se, but the technical aspects as well, just helped me, one, grow my love for theater, and also just grow my respect for everybody that does it really, really well. Because it's so many people involved, and most of them, maybe not most, but a lot of them you don't even see. So.
Well, yeah, and you've done a lot of good acting and stuff, but you also went and did it at Hale. You helped crew over there.
That's true. I forgot. Yeah, I'm joking. Yeah.
Good job.
That was super fun too, because I was Kensington is amazing, but when you get that much technical, just robotics involved in a show, it's it becomes a lot more stressful, and it was just faster paced, but yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, anybody else?
You have to call him. You just have to tell him to talk.
Yeah.
Jerry.
I think one of the things I like most about crew is on the rare chance that I'm not stage managing or part of the crew, I'm watching it and I know what's happening backstage, and I pick out all the little details, and I'm like, oh, I know what's happening there. Does this guy know? They don't know. I know how the magic's made. I don't know. I like that part a lot.
So you like being like a magician, knowing the magic behind the magic, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that. Okay, Brooklyn.
I really like just not only everyone talks about the cast family, you're kind of involved in that, but you make your crew family also, and you guys are just hanging out. Everyone thinks you're really cool because we are, but we're just gonna hang out at the theater. I love doing set builds, and you just get to laugh and have fun and not worry about memorizing lines. So
that is true, but you do have to remember, if you're a grip or something, you have to remember to go on stage and grab stuff.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
But that is true. You know what, when you said that, I thought, as an actor, so many times when I've been in a show, the stage crew are those people that you are part of the family of people that you want to see every time you go into, right? You go in, and of course you're going to see your fellow actors, but if one of the tech, you see these tech, the crew members backstage while you're, it's so fun to watch, because one crew member might be doing this one thing, and that other crew member doesn't have any idea that this crew member is helping me get this proper, or whatever, and they become part of we rely on you just as much as we're relying on the other actors, right?
Yeah, they're an integral part of the web.
Yeah, I love it.
Yes.
Okay, Cassandra.
So what I love about crew is just that there's so many elements that are coming together to accomplish one purpose. I think that's really cool that you've got, people on lights, people on sound, people backstage, the stage manager, whatever people, even, orchestra, you could, but like, there's just so many elements that make the story bring the story so much more to life that the crew is a part of, which I think is really, really remarkable. And they are some of the most hardworking kids that I love working with actors, and they're hardworking in one aspect, but crew kids are so hardworking for like a lot less praise. And they're good kids. I haven't had the opportunity to really be in crew besides being stage manager. Tony kind of took a chance on me in that, but I've never been on her crew besides being a stage manager. And I just see how hard these kids work and how much they love it. And they love just being part of that.
Yeah, well, you can appreciate too when you're a stage manager, when you assemble just an awesome crew. There's nothing like that, right? That these just work hard and they do what they need to do. One of the cutest crews we ever had was Little Shop of Horrors, the big cast. We had like 4 or 5 micro, like little teeny 7th and 8th graders running that show. So if you saw that show, seriously, 7th and 8th grade little girls, they were like as big as me. And they were super, super small, but they were so good. It was so good.
I love it. We have some comments. Look at all the people on the screen. Thank you. Wow.
Hi, Cagney.
Hi, Cagney.
That is amazing. Let's see. Well, we have a lot of good stories and shows like Tarzan, West Side Story. Let's see. Oh, Emery's ELA Little Mermaid. And pretty stressful. So we have a bunch that are watching. Maybe I should ask my second question to you that I'm asking them. But what's been the hardest? Do you have like a hardest show that you've ever had, one thing that's been super hard, or building something that was super hard, or certain scene change maybe, or something like that?
One of the hardest scene changes I think I ever made somebody do was when we first opened up the theater. We did Mary Poppins, and Brooklyn may remember have some.
That was my first show.
Yeah.
Mine too, yeah.
Yeah. And so my sister Melanie actually stage managed that one. And what happened is we were on top of the rooftops of London. And what happened is they're doing the chimney, what is that song?
Step in Time.
Here we go. Step in Time. And they came in front of the Grand Drape, and all of the chimneys, we built squares around you'll see later, we have 4 trapdoors, and we built chimneys around those. Anyway, so they had to strike this whole set that created the rooftops of London, and then put in a full dining room. I think they had to do it in about 15 seconds. And the really tricky part was it was time for the music, so that they had no choice but to be done in 15 seconds. And so every time the Grand Drape would open, it'd have to be miraculously the back to the Banks living room. And I'm just always like, here's the cue, go Grand Drape, good luck, everybody. They made it though, but that was a tough transition. But that crew, man, it just always amazes me. You just maybe I should stop, exceeding my expectations.
Well, that adrenaline is probably akin to singing or dancing or performing on the stage. The adrenaline of I have 15 seconds to get all this stuff out. So it's just the same as anybody else that's acting.
It was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Well, that show was beautiful too.
I missed that.
Good job.
20 scene changes.
All right. Anybody else have a hardest thing that they've done on crew moment?
Oh, I had one. Oh. So one time I was subbing for Tony, And we had to build risers for the black box. And I mean, the only like carpentry experience I had was in her class building sets that were supposed to last like 2 weeks and then be torn apart easily. And so I completely botched all of like the whole. They had to redo all the risers. I built them, but they were all wrong.
No, you didn't build them all wrong.
Oh,
The story goes that I was having him cut 3/4 inch plywood, and I told him specifically just do it at 3 feet. He was supposed to cut it at 3 feet, and he cut it. I don't know why, but he cut it at 34 inches. Oh my God! It's 34 inches. How expensive 3/4 inch plywood is. This is a lot. This is a financially horrific mistake made.
yeah. I'm really sorry.
Trenton helped you, if I remember right, too.
Yeah, it was both of us.
So I came back and I'm like,
We'll split the blame.
but I'm like, why is this all wrong? Like, why is this? What happened? Did I get weird wood? Like, what happened? So if you go,
I'm just bad at it.
Everybody, you can enjoy Jeff and Trenton's mistake, because I wasn't willing to buy the wood again because that would have been a lot of money. It's like $25 to $35 a piece, and so there's 2-inch strips. If you go look at the risers in the box,
Oh, right.
There's the 34-inch stupid piece. There's 2-inch pieces that are running along it too. So look for that 2-inch piece when you're on the risers the next time, and you can think, oh, Jeff is so sweet.
Right.
It's like writing your name on the sets. He just those 2 inches. Are just...
That was definitely the hardest crew thing I've ever done.
I'll have to show you. Do you want to see something really quick of Trenton? Here, wait, Sayla, where's the remote cam? Oh, she's up there. She's up there. Can you see her? I'm going to just show you real quick because I remember that. I may not remember. We'll go into a tour later, but this is Trenton. Not to throw Trenton under the bus, but here we go. So I told him to spray Virgin Les Mis. That was the very first thing we did. You know, big production. Like we did Drowsy Chaperone and stuff, but that was kind of like our big epic one that we plan on doing. Yeah. He says, Trenton, go spray these hammers. Spray them black. Make sure you put something down because we don't. We don't want to. I'm going to show you. Let's see if you can see it. Can you see those squares? Okay. So I come and Trenton's just spraying them, being such a nice guy. You know, trying to be. I'm not going to get myself out of the way. Oh, do this.
You can turn the phone.
We can see it.
I missed the remote. Yeah. Come down, remote girl.
Oh.
Anyway, so if you walk past those black squares ever in the shop,
I've always wondered what those were.
That's so funny.
Not listening to me.
Do you remember when I spilled an entire gallon of paint in the hallway of the old middle school? Out of the paint closet? Yellow. Bright yellow on the green cement floors.
It was not a good day.
Oh, I made a lot of mistakes, but mistakes are good.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't have job.
Sorry, I'll tell you one story for fun, a cruise story. So, I mean, we're here to the end, right? We start it, we end it. We're the guys that do everything. So we're in the gym doing a show. I don't remember. It's in the winter. That's all I remember. Maybe doing
Little Mermaid?
Woods or Little Women.
Little Mermaid.
Oh. Okay. I don't know, but it had red paint in it. And so somebody spilled red paint right outside the door, the glass door that goes outside. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to clean this, right? Because fortunately it was on the grass then. They didn't have a cement pad at that time. So it's just on the grass. But I'm like, I've got to clean this up. Sorry, it wasn't even grass. It was snow. And so I put all the paint in this bag right there, and I was cleaning it up, there till midnight trying to get this. And there's just this light and the snow and me, right? And so, so I'm not moving, so I'm nervous on you guys. Am I frozen on you guys, or are you guys?
Yeah. Okay.
Now you're good.
You're good now. My computer's gonna die. Get the remote cam. Anyway, so I put it in a big garbage bag with this red paint, and then I drag it because it's too heavy. I don't know. I'm kind of small, but so I drag it around the dumpsters And when I get to the dumpsters, I then realize that the bag is leaking. And so I have red paint smeared all the way from that door all the way to the dumpsters. And the bag looked like a dead body. So I'm like, if anybody were to see this, they're going to totally arrest me. And then I had to take this rifle. So you see this whole crime scene, and I'm trying to heave this stupid body into it's not a body, everybody, don't call me, the dumpster, and then it splits in a way that I have to dump in the dumpster. It was the worst. And then at the end, I'm like, it looks like I just buried a dead body or disposing of a dead body. So I had to go by and clean up all the snow over the paint. It didn't look like I had just killed a dead body. So bad. I did take a picture. I wish I could find the picture. It was so funny. So fun. Not in the moment, though.
Yeah.
I wish that there were like ELA camera footage of you dragging.
That was priceless. Seriously.
Oh.
Nobody else.
It's so funny. Oh, that's so good. Well, I was thinking maybe we can, if there are people that are watching that don't know much about Crew, we could talk quickly about all of the different parts of lighting and sound and grips and all that go into Crew. I know that we have a visitor in the background. It's John.
John! Lord of Sound.
Yes.
I totally lost track of time.
We can't hear you, John.
No. You can't hear me?
I can.
Oh, where's
Oh,
the
I can't.
You're having a good hair day, though, John.
Jacob, you just never listen to me. It's a little older. It's not freshly shaved. Sorry, Brooklyn. I didn't want the shine to be too much, so I left a little.
Can't have a glare.
Last time I had this like weird blob from the glare, so
now
I had to go for that. Yeah, see, kind of like Logan has.
Gotta block my light.
I'm a sound guy. I'm not a lighting guy. I don't know how to do lighting.
Well, John,
That's
maybe we can start with you, John, with our tour day Crew things, and you can
tour de Crew,
and you can tell us. And I want you to brag about how hard sound is for, let's say, 2 minutes. Go.
Sound is tough because if you make a mistake, everybody hears it. If somebody's mic dies, it's pretty hard to cover up a sound mistake. If you fire a gun too early, everybody knows it. I mean, it's even, I think when the gun didn't fire, I got a couple comments like the gun didn't fire. It's like, that wasn't even me. That was live. But still, I get blamed for it. I can't say the sound gets blamed for it. So it's nerve wracking. I think most people that have done sound, Brooklyn, you've done sound. Jerry, I know, has done sound. Josh, you've never run sound with me. Have you done a tiny bit?
Yeah.
But I think most every kid that comes on, they're like, this is harder than I thought.
Yeah, I did it for this. There was like a debate or something at the theater.
Yeah.
And so I did sound. There was only 2 mics, and something broke. And I was like, "What do I do?"
It's not the fader. People think how hard it is to push up a little stupid fader.
Yeah,
but it's not. That's not the hard part.
Yeah. I think I called you, or maybe you were there, and I was like, I don't know what to do, John.
I'm like, push this button, and
yeah,
I've gotten pretty good at the board. So Tony calls every once in a while. And I'm like, in the upper right hand corner, there's a little.
Okay, my defense.
It's usually my fault.
John loves to play around with the board, and I'm like, John, you can't change the board unless you tell me what you're changing. And so I'll get back to him. Like, what the crap? Why is the board changed again? So John works his butt off. That's the only thing I complain about. I'm like, please tell me when you change something.
The problem is I change like 7 or 8 things, and I change like 6 or 7 things back. It's that one thing that I forget.
Yeah, but we work for it, and he's always really good about picking up his phone. He must have the world's best job.
We've gotten pretty good at like FaceTiming or whatever to fix the board. It works pretty well.
Yeah, I wouldn't trade John for anything. He's great.
I love sound. It's fun for the same reason. It's fun where if you do it right, nobody says a word. It should blend seamlessly, and that's what I love about it. So it's this love-hate of if it goes well, nobody says a word. If it goes bad,
Lights is
everybody's
more
enjoying
fun because everybody loves the lights.
yeah, everybody loves the light.
Ooh, it did this. Ooh, what
Yeah.
did you tell?
Yeah.
And even if it moves at the wrong time, it's like, ooh, it moved. That wasn't even the right time. But nobody knows.
Doesn't matter.
It's pretty.
They don't
The
applaud.
lighting where it's at, everybody. Lighting.
They don't applaud when you turn down a mic or turn up a mic. They don't do that.
No, they don't.
Hey,
Look at that fade! That fade! Wow!
Yeah.
if they notice the fade, then they're like, woo.
Yeah, they don't. Why did his mic come in 3 words into the sentence?
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah, but
Me
nobody knows
too.
the lighting cue. I'm like, you're off. You missed it by a beat. And everybody's like,
Yeah.
what? You did.
We hear Tony all the time on the headset. You're off on the cue, and nobody knows anything but Tony because she set the cue.
Well, it's prettier when you do it right.
It is.
And
I
it's
agree.
Man, man.
There have been many
masterful
a times
stroke.
where Tony's like, "Do it right now," and he does it. Whoever's on sound or lights does it at the right time. I'm like, "Oh, now I see what it's supposed to look like. It looks really nice."
I love lighting.
I love it. John, do you have a one sound, doing mics or anything story that comes to mind of maybe it could either be a huge success that happened or one that did not go as planned with mics or?
I've changed a lot of mics and a lot of mic cords backstage. One of my funnest though was changing Peter Pan's the first time we did Peter Pan, changing that mic on stage, sneaking up behind Peter Pan as he sat on the I think it was the dog house. Was it Nanny's house? Tony, do you remember?
Wait, this is the first one?
Yeah, this was the
Okay,
first
yeah,
one.
I remember
No,
this.
no. We're talking about the second one, which was the first one for John. So Kensington.
Oh, was it the
Oh,
second?
yes. Okay, yes.
Sorry.
The second
First one
for
for me.
Played Hook.
Yeah.
And it was an ELA. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
an ELA production.
Yeah.
Yep, Toa. And
Toa.
Toa sat. There was a point where he walked over and had his back off stage, and he was sitting on the nanny's doghouse, and I snuck up behind him, and
Wow.
Jake switched out his mic pack and then took off. I'm like, just stay here for a second.
My mic came flying off in that show all the time. I'd be like grabbing my tail while I was walking the whole time.
So there aren't too many. Usually sound stuff happens off stage, but that was a fun mic change on stage.
Nathan breaking.
Nathan, breaking his mic every night. That all happened off stage.
You know what though? If I seem to remember, there's some people who cannot handle a mic. Like Joff, when we did Susical, I'm like, what is wrong with you? We trade him to another mic. And I'm like, you must be made out of wood or something. I don't understand. He broke every mic we put on him.
I also got slapped in the face by Shannon. It would make my mic fly off.
When your mic fly off.
Yeah.
There's costumes will do it. Like Nathan, it was largely the costume and just kind of where we placed the mic, and it took us a while to figure it out. But we've started to get a little more inventive with where mics go and stuff. My favorite crew story though is recently Peter Pan when the fly system died.
What?
And I had to run from the sound booth. See, Jacob remembers this. The fly system got stuck.
Yeah, I was the fly captain. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I ran, and so Jacob's doing the fly captain, and he's the one that knows the system the most. But he can't leave his post because he's the fly captain. So I ran from the sound booth all the way backstage, climbed up into the loft system, and Sterling and I, throughout the whole scene, are up there fixing the fly system. And then I climbed down and ran all the way back up to the sound booth.
Yeah.
So
These are the people that react really good in emergencies. Our kids have to do that all the time. I think that Jacob said that once where you were talking, I don't know, somewhere publicly. So it must have been like the 2 times you've talked publicly. So you were like,
yeah.
like, when things go wrong, that's why I do crew.
Yeah.
And you need the right kind of people to be in those positions for when it does go wrong.
Yep.
The wrong kind of people will go and stall.
Yeah, you just have to problem shoot. It's insane.
Yeah. Well,
I love backstage for that reason. There's nothing more fun than having complete chaos backstage and have the audience walk out going, "That was so awesome."
Yeah.
Like, you didn't even know.
You're like, if only you knew.
If only you knew.
You're-
Jacob Berry was on his stomach on the stage trying to fix a stupid wheel underneath the thing. So,
Oh, yeah.
I
So
forgot
many.
about
So many.
I love it. You should,
Oh
you
man.
should get little boards that you can put around your necks, and you can write after every show. You can line up with the rest of the cast and say what I did this
What I did wrong.
what I fixed so that the show would go on, and then people can be like, "What? That
Things
happened?"
to be thankful for.
If you only knew.
Yep.
Funny when the cast, like, we're all like having a good time singing out when things are happening right. And then something happens wrong and we like snap at them, like get out of the way, and they get all scared of us, and it's so funny.
Well,
Terrorized with angry Jerry.
Get out of the way.
I like it.
But at the same time, there's nothing more fun than when everything's going well and you get to be backstage making fun of everything going well on stage. So
Yes.
that's the other fun thing of being backstage on crew.
I knew it, John. I knew it.
It's not as fun in the sound booth because everybody's watching me from the sides. I can't do it as much back there. But.
True. While we're talking about flying, Tony did send me videos of Peter Pan flying, but like no problems. This is the first time.
No problems flying.
Oh, good.
This is Brooklyn. I think this is the first time, right, Tony?
Yeah. Well, this is the first time they really got it, but it's definitely rehearsal. It's the first fly rehearsal.
Yeah, let's watch it. So
Yay!
I love it.
Did we ever get footage of Jacob Berry jumping off the chair to make that happen, or whatever it was?
Maybe that's something we shouldn't see.
That needs to stay backstage.
Yes.
How much? Since we're talking about flying, either Jerry or whoever, how much time of prep in flying is there before we see it on the stage? For those that might not know.
Like rehearsals or just getting ready for it?
Yeah, rehearsals, all of the prep that you do before opening night that goes into flying, whenever you have flying.
Well, for this last Peter Pan that we did, we had a whole day of just setting up the fly system, and that took like 6 hours or something, and that was fun. And it wasn't that bad. It's just a lot that we have to do, and we have to remember where everything goes and what everything does. And then the next day we took all day. It was just me, my fly team, and the people that were flying in Peter Pan. We just spent the whole day figuring out how to fly, and it was for me and my fly crew, and it was for them figuring out how to look good suspended by a wire 10 feet up in the air, 15 feet. Like we learned some tricks and connected with them, because you have to have a trust with the person pulling on a rope to launch you into the sky. Brooklyn and I got to be good friends after I jumped off a ladder and launched her through a window a couple times.
I love that.
So, yeah.
I love it. Let's see. Okay, yeah, but we have okay, but the flight system breaking that night scared the crap out of me. Yeah,
that was awful.
Was somebody flying while it broke?
It was right after do the up and away. I want to say Beautiful Balloon, but that's the wrong show. When they're all forward. Yeah, that's
when they're all come away. Yeah.
And I think it was
John
or whatever. And somehow when they disconnected it, or when he came down and back up, it like wound up over itself. So we basically had to unwind the entire thing. So I was up in the booth doing that. There was somebody on stage just kind of slowly guiding the cord down so that it didn't disrupt what was going on stage. They were hiding behind a set piece with the cord, basically guiding it down as I unwound the whole thing.
Wow.
And then we had to slowly let it go back up to the point where it wound up correctly. But
all in one scene, right?
Yeah, all while whatever the scene is after that's going on.
That is crazy. I applaud you.
Yeah,
it's fun. It's those are what make crew awesome.
Oops.
What was that one?
Remember this fly scene mishap is that John just didn't go up and blah, 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 and my heart dropped. It's fun. But again, nobody knows. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of the job, right?
Mm-hmm.
John, I have another video. We've shown it in another Kensington live, but let's watch it and then you can tell us about your heroic moment.
So, John just helped us reinstall the new trampoline. Opening night! Woo!
Yeah, opening night. That was a fun one. Yeah, we talked about it during Tarzan, the trampoline fun.
Isaac went right through it.
Yeah, Isaac decided that jumping from 5 or 6 feet up onto it, he just would go right through. And we learned our lesson. We don't use a 10-year-old trampoline anymore. It's fun. Tony does not. I remember the first show I did was Peter Pan, and Peter Pan was fairly tame, I thought, as far as the set goes. And then Tarzan.
No, there was a slide.
That's true. There was a slide. There was a big front of the boat. But the first show, Kensington show I did was Tarzan in the gym. And I remember thinking, what the heck have I gotten myself into? She's building this big, huge thing out into the stage and all of this. And all of a sudden she's putting the orchestra on the stage. And I'm climbing under the stage to fix it because Joff keeps breaking the stage from jumping on it. And that show, there was a lot technically to that show. And I just remember thinking, what in the world? And there's several shows since then that I've thought the same thing. What is she thinking? She goes pretty ambitious, Tony does. So.
Yes, I do.
But it's good. It's fun. It's fun to talk through different ideas with her. And I've loved, I've seen Jacob and Brooklyn grow up doing crew, which is awesome. And I'd have them both back anytime on the sound booth.
I have a question for you guys, because the interesting thing I've found with crew in theater, people like, crew, whatever. The first, am I echoing?
Joff, I think you. I
Okay.
muted you.
We'll blame Joff.
What's going on? Anyway, the couple of first comments Adam and Emily made, who's changed my life. And I've actually found that to be shockingly true, that crew becomes a place for people to find that sense of family as well. And I've actually been shocked that, it even becomes a lifeline for people that it means so much to them. And it sometimes is just the reason why they get to school, or the reason why they're getting up in the morning. That's an extreme part. But I know, even watching Jacob grow up, that crew meant a lot to him, not just because it was crew. I don't know, maybe you guys can put it in your own words. But I know that with Brooklyn and Jacob and Joff and John, crew was meant more than just crewing a play. So maybe just for fun, could tap into that for a second, and then go on a tour. How about that?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Anybody?
First.
Go, Jacob.
Well, like Tony was saying, crew, it's more than just doing crewing a play or whatever. That's the job, but it's a more I don't know. It's kind of hard to describe, but the best way I could say it is that it taught me how to be confident, I guess, and it changed who I am, and it showed me a lot about myself that I didn't know before. Because to me, theater's a place for I don't know, it sounds kind of weird, but the social outcasts. I did not have any friends at all. I had a couple, but theater has just opened up a whole other world, and it's brought me in and really accepted me for who I am. And I'm glad that I have been a part of that for other people who have had the same experience as me. I don't know, with the stuff I've stage managers are part of the whole audition process too, and we sit there and we greet you at the door, and we're getting to know you before the play and all that stuff. And I've seen these super shy people go through that door, and then a month or two later they come back out just entirely different people who have just become themselves. I don't know, it's great.
And now Jerry, you have hundreds of people that when they see you or see you on this, they type in Jerry into the comments. So you're pretty famous now.
It's true.
I'm kind of a big deal.
Wait, what
I
was
can't
the
believe you
question?
didn't put Jerry as your name.
I know, right? Look at this cool picture. Sparks.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
nice.
I love it. I love it.
What was the
Doc, you asked
question?
what the question?
Yeah, because
Tony, can you
was
rephrase
muted. I
your
couldn't
question?
hear anybody either.
The question just was, what does crew mean to you? Like beyond
Oh, okay.
crewing a play.
Does that mean I have to answer it now? Okay.
Distracted. I don't know.
That's what I think about it. I actually changed my mind. Think about it. I think that we should talk about the theater for a second. Go do something. What do you guys think?
Go do something.
Yeah,
Let's go.
So think about that, because that's usually where Logan likes to wind it up to anyway, I think. So I think I stole a little bit of that thunder. So
Oh, it's whatever.
I'm trying to charge my like at 1%.
Adam.
Adam.
Adam, the savior of Pippin.
Lynn. Not Adam Lynn. It was Adam Willis.
Yeah. Oh, is that Adam?
Willis, yeah.
This is Adam Lynn.
Oh, okay.
Adam.
That makes sense
Yeah.
with the
We still love it,
80.
though. Adam.
Okay, so let's talk about the olden days first. I think the olden days they go beyond the gym. They go clear back into Elk Ridge High School or Elk Ridge Middle School, South Jordan Middle School, the Senior Center. Those were all some of our gypsy locations. We had no home, and but we were dreaming of a home. We always dreamt of being somewhere like, I don't know, this. And, but we worked our butts off. Like we worked really hard. We had to bring in everything. We had to get it out like so quickly too. When we did anything, and then we hooked up with ELA. Just some crazy circumstances that led us into partnership with ELA, and one of the coolest things that could have happened to our company. And so we started working in the gym. And man, we had fun, didn't we? I mean, we had to climb up stairs, like 2 flights of stairs, to put away everything in this little room that we called Narnia, because it was amazing how much we could fit in there. And we had another one. Jeff, do you remember what the other one was called? Was it Armageddon? I think it was Armageddon. Yeah, we called it Armageddon because it was just this other storage room in the junior high that just we'd stuff things into. It was just a pretty. That's where the dead body is buried.
That was a crazy room. I had so much fun in there, though. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, just climbing up. There was like 12 feet stacks of platforms, and there was like props that were stored up there as well on top of them. So every couple months we would have to climb up these. This is like a massive jungle gym out of random stage objects. It was super cool.
Fortunately, sorry.
No, go, Tony.
Just fortunately, we had these crew kids that were super ambitious and super energetic. And they were willing to do these crazy things. I mean, we made the really little theater, which was insane that we would ever do theater in that room. But it was super fun. But then the time came that we actually got to build our theater. And Logan, let's show them some of the pictures. I don't know. We can narrate as we go along. Yep. So here we are pouring the footings for the trapdoors. We have 4 trapdoors.
Yeah.
The orchestra pit was the first thing they built. Just so you know, the first thing they dug, the first thing they built, because it's the lowest point in the junior high. This is when they put up the proscenium for the first time. I took my class out when they were putting it up, and we all watched it come up. You see the beginnings, the footings for the concrete for the audience there too.
Yeah, love it. I love this picture of the aerial view.
Thanks to John. John took his camera and did that for us. But you can see really clearly the orchestra pit and the pit plugs and the beginning of the stage.
Yeah.
It's a big space. It was very.
It's kind of crazy to look at it through like this. You're like, whoa, this is right. You know, like when you're inside, it seems like a whole different.
Well, leave it there for a second too, because it's hard for me to explain to people. But I'm like, our theater is unique. I got to design it with Paul, and it was very, very cool to go through that process with him. Mm. But one of the things I really wanted was to have an intimate theater. So please note that if you look at where the pit is and those 4 squares, that's the stage, and it goes all the way to the 2 sides. Mm-hmm. And then the other footprint, the dirt part that's just up to the left upper corner, that's the audience. So the stage is as big as the audience. I don't know if you can see that, but that makes it a more intimate space. So we can put 100 people in the stage, but still have an intimate experience. So anyway, just kind of a fun little note there that most people don't really understand.
Yeah, I love that. I love it. Yeah, and then of course I have this front view of the building coming up, because of course before this it was just a field and there was just a parking lot.
Mm-hmm. There
Right.
is a white owl too that lives here. We call him Hedwig.
Yeah, there's without seats.
Yep.
Kind of crazy to see it like that.
Yep. All concrete with the
Wow.
gray. The gray is called Gibraltar, in case you were wondering.
Okay, there's with seats.
Yeah, they just got in. It was so great. There's no carpet yet. You can see that. Oh, now we have carpet. This shot's kind of a fun one because we actually, one of the first things we did is we had a concert celebrating it. And I don't know if you guys remember that, but Voicemail came and did one of the concerts too. So we had 2 concerts. And the guy who does all the pictures for Voicemail, he came in. The coolest thing is when the Voicemail boys came in, because they perform in great places. They're like, oh, wow, it's a real theater. I'm like, yeah, this ain't no cafetorium. And so I really appreciated that they, respected that it actually is a real theater. And then he's like, this is a really nice theater, and your pictures are ugly of it. So can I take some nice pictures? He's like, can't remember, said some glamour shots or something of it. So he took some time with his camera, and he did some of these really pretty shots of the theater. Yeah. So thanks, Voicemail.
I love it. Of course, this one.
Voicemail photographer guy.
That's him too. Yep, he did it too.
Love it.
Giving credit.
Pretty cool. And then I have a whole bunch of pictures of building the the dressing rooms.
The black box.
Yeah, the black box.
Black box and dressing room.
Yeah,
I don't have aerial shots of that.
when we originally built it, we put all the money into structure, not into cosmetics, because we didn't. That's why we have a hydraulic pit, but no hydraulics. And that's why we have a fly space, but no fly system, because I wanted all the perks of a real theater. And I thought we can fundraise for that kind of stuff, but we can't build it right now. And so the black box is another thing. They're like, no, you can't do that. And I'm like, I need a black box. You don't understand. We need a black box and a scene shop. So they're like, fine, we'll add this big thing on the back, but we're not doing anything. The deal is that we'll build it, but you have to do the work. So when we got it, there was, I think, 2 outlets in that entire space, and then some work lights. That's it.
Wow.
And a whole lot of props.
Have fun.
And no air, right?
No air, no heat,
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
And so this is what Paul is the mastermind behind this, and there are a few people who really helped out, like Sterling and Jacob. I think were big on that one. John, I think, was big on that.
Yeah, there's before.
That was when we started tearing everything out because you can still see the loft. So
Yeah.
Yep.
So you can see everything being pushed against the.
Yeah, that's when we started doing the dressing rooms, because those red walls Paul built a little bit later.
Yeah. So I just have, a bunch of pictures. When I would come and help put up stuff, I took pictures to document all this, like there's the inside of
one of the dressing rooms.
Yeah. Some fun.
There's the hallway.
Yeah. So that's the boys' dressing room.
It was really neat to see all that come together. Paul did an amazing job of designing it and doing it. So
Yeah.
it was fun to be a part of, but also just fun to see it all come together.
Yeah, it was quite the celebration when we got the sink working. That was like such a great day that we didn't have to run down the hallway to clean out our paintbrushes. That was a good day. And bathroom, when we got the dressing room,
Bathroom done.
that was crazy. Like, the little things mean so much to us because we worked so hard.
Yeah.
You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. People are, yes. It's
We
amazing.
love the dressing room.
I love it.
And the dressing rooms have been great. And the stairs down to the pit, all of it. It's just cool.
Well, you guys want to go on a tour?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to put full screen.
Full screen. All right. Let's do it. Okay. Well, I was hoping to do it not like this, but I can't get any of my devices to work. So if it freezes up, I'm sorry. I'll come back to a place where it works. So, here we are. We're in the main theater course. You're probably most used to that, anybody who watches it. And so I'm going to start by going backstage first. onto the stage area. Oh, sorry, we are actually, you can see this graveyard right here. But these are the platforms. We're actually fireproofing them. They're the ones that Joff messed up. I don't know if you can see it, 'cause
He's not even here.
You dropped.
or I would show you. I wish I had my phone working. Sayla, try getting the phone working again. It'd be so much more fun. Can you see that line right there? The black. Let's see.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, right there.
Joff's line.
That's Joff's line on every platform. Yep, everyone. Anyway, we're fixing those right now. Tell me if I get dizzy. Sometimes I forget that the camera's moving too.
Just don't move too fast because it gets blurry when you move too fast. But
I'm moving slow.
Oh,
We're
we
going
have-
with the wing. Ooh, that was cool. Did you see that? I'm gonna do it again because it was so cool.
Hey, there's the phone.
I'm out here. Oh yeah, Sayla, is it working? Watch this. Oh, tell me that doesn't look cool. So right here, I mean, we have 2 dressing rooms. Not only do we have dressing rooms, guys, we have quick change rooms. Whoa, woo. It's like heaven. Can we do that again? That was really cool too. Watch. Heaven. Oh, that was so cool. So is the remote working? Should we try doing that one instead?
It shows that it's working. I can.
Sayla, can I try it? All right.
Now we're seeing double
I know.
and hearing double. Mute one of them.
Bring that just in case. Okay. Oops, sorry. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Flip us sideways. It will be better.
Oh yeah, right. Forgot.
Yay.
Don't phone. Okay, echoes. Just leave it there. Okay, sorry, I'm instructing Sayla. So anyway, so here's Backstage. Sayla, can you put on mute? Mute the computer. Sorry, we have a double going on here. So way up there is the grid. This is where everybody wants to go. It's the fly space. We actually hang foliage from it right now. It's 40 feet in the air. We were hoping to do remote. Sayla was up there at one point, but there's no Wi-Fi up there. I don't know if you can see it, but let me see if I can zoom in. There is.
I don't know if it will let you zoom in.
Yeah. Well, Anyway, there is a.
You're okay. I'm not on right now.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, I can't hear you guys. Maybe I'll turn up Sayla's phone. There we go. Now I can hear you. Okay, so this big white curtain right here, this is the psych. But what's important about this is when we first came here and I was showing the kids this, I'm like, this is a psych. And they're like, a psych? Like Psych, the sitcom Psych? And I'm like, yes, but not that Psych. They're like, oh, you mean Gus then? And I'm like, okay. So if you know Psych, Gus is the companion to Psych.
Yeah.
And because I made that one comment, this psych is now called Gus.
Gus.
Yep. Gus, the friendly psych. Anyway, so here we are in the wings. There's one of our pit plugs. This is what we use to, if we want to use a trap door, we set that inside. This room right here is Lydia's room. Why? Because Lydia, when we first built it, said, I want a room named after me. And now she's like, I don't want that room named after me, but it's too late. Too late. Okay, this is where I'm hoping it doesn't get too sketchy. The black box doesn't have good Wi-Fi. So here we are in the black box.
Yay.
That wall that Paul built. And there's another one. This is just a psych, though he doesn't actually have a name. I shouldn't tell the crew kids that because they love christening people. But here's our black box. These are the platforms we're going to use to build the portable or the rotating stage. Maybe I'll have Sayla rotate on it. These little doozies are going to be arches and Les Mis. And here's the platforms that Jeff ruined. Again. But now they're fireproofed. Look, then you can see that line again.
There it is.
There. The infamous line. It's like what's that, international date line or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's Jeff. So we're going to come back here. People don't know this, but there's actually a door right here. That's the sign. We talk about it whenever we do play here, but nobody ever sees it. But behind it, there's this whole new world as well. We call this Picasso. Because Picasso, it's just the art where we store all the paint and our curtains back here. So we've got this little great place that a lot of people don't know about. And there's that exit probably people should know about. But it exists. You can tell
Go
the wells
towards-
hanging.
Go towards Picasso. I
What's
know.
that?
I just when in an emergency you can yell, "Go towards Picasso."
Well, you don't want to go in Picasso, just past it.
Yes, yeah.
This is just storage behind these curtains. We have a whole bunch of props and things like that. But I'm going to take you up these stairs.
Yay.
These stairs are fun. Just so you know, it's for authorized employees only. Don't go up here. That's supposed to be hanging at all times, but it doesn't. Well, we have to go up and down the stairs so much. It takes up too much. All right, let's hope the Wi-Fi still works. If not, I'll run back down.
You're still good.
Okay. So anyway, right here is what we call I-15. So that's because it's this big, long, because there'll be times when I go in the dressing rooms and the crew have to put away the costumes. And I need to like tell them where to go, but we need names so they know exactly what I'm talking about. And so we've named all these areas different things. So I'll say, okay, go in I-15, about halfway down, up on the top. And you'll see there's all these different clothes, like the bandits from Princess Academy, West Side Story, coats, vests, just all kinds of costumes and stuff that we store up here. This is where we store our big props, our big set pieces, really, like the chairs up here. Got a wagon up here. And this actually is kind of fun because it has a balcony into the shop.
Yay.
Yep. And then you can see the storage also of our vacuum form. That's the plastic I use all the time because it's so easy to use. Got Christmas trees and stuff like that up here too. But it's kind of fun. You can look down into that balcony there. But if you go the other direction, in this direction, over here, this is the balcony leading back to the black box. So there it is. Where's Selah? Oh, she was here. Where'd she go? Anyway, you can walk down here. This is actually where I store a lot of the artwork too, things I don't want to get ruined that are wood. So, like, that's the M. There's a Peter Pan one here. We've got Mary Poppins one in here, Gardens in here. Urinetown is in here. All kinds of fun ones. Anyway,
Cool.
and so here's where the kids do the crew whenever you crew a show in the black box. We're way up here in this really fun little place. This is where Logan conducted April, this very spot. Oh, fantastics. Oh, that's West Side Story stools. Those are the perfect type to look over the balcony when you need to watch a show up here. So, oh, and that's where the dentist here from Little Shop.
Yeah.
That's where he gets stored right there. So all these fun little things. That's the dentist right there. The dentist cash register and the dentist thing, but it's upside down because it's easier to store that way. Anyway, over here, just for fun, it's not that interesting, but this is what we call the cave. So I'm like, go in the cave and put things over here. So, but it helps so people know where things are. So I'm going to go back down. Going back out of, we just call this upstairs, really. It doesn't have a super fancy name, but the pieces of it have fancy names. All right, so going on, this is the red hallway that we do. We put one coat on, and we never put the second. So if you look right up here, I don't know if you can see it. Oh, you can't because the light. It still has blue tape around it, though.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, you can see it.
Yeah, I know, it's embarrassing, but oh well. All right, so here's the girls' dressing room. It's kind of fun. Hi, there I am.
Yay.
Hello, Tony. And I do improvnators in here, so I have them dressed. That's my little Red Riding Hood costume I put in the background just for fun. They give me these cute things, and so I've been starting to put them up on this wall. These cute gifts from the different casts. But I want to show you up here because it's super fun. So in the girls' dressing room, if you're ever in here and you look up here, you're going to see my menagerie.
Yeah.
So these are all the models from the sets. Like that's the old Les Mis. There's the tree. This is Princess Academy. That's Les Mis. There's West Side Story there. If you look in the background, you can see it too. So I just have a little menagerie of all the different,
Love it.
just different set pieces that I use them. Sometimes I'll actually tear them apart and create another set with them because they're so, it takes a lot of time to build a model set.
Yeah.
Just so you know. All right, so we're going to go out the dressing room. This is another dressing room. You can see, you just walk in there automatic. See, heaven. Oh, and this is where I've started gathering the Les Mis costumes. They've been sitting here even before I knew we were going to do it. So hooray, we get to use them. So here's the shop. This is actually Michelle's stuff waiting here because the pit, we're going to go down there even though it's horrific. So everybody in Les Mis, get excited. You're all going to help us clear the pit for Michelle. And I'm sure Michelle's excited. Okay, so this is the sink. It's as ugly as tar, but I love it. It's one of my favorite things because you can wash paintbrushes. That's super important. All right, pray that the Wi-Fi still works. You can go down in the pit. You ready for it? I just want to note that when we designed it, we made a separate entrance for the orchestra so that they wouldn't have to go in and out. If there was an emergency, they wouldn't have to disrupt a performance by exiting. So we store a lot of the costumes and stuff here. Sorry, it really is a mess. We've been putting everything down here. Especially with the black box, we had to do it. So you can see, usually it's just the pit in this part of it. They store their stuff down here, but right now it's been overtaken by us. These are the bouldering mats. This is what Isaac fell onto. It was just the two bottom ones when he fell through the pit or through the trampoline, not the pit. And let's see if I can show you one. This is one of the trap doors right here. This one actually has a great story. When we did Mary Poppins, we were so concerned about the pit. You can see the big net we use as a safety net. We made sure that net was over the pit so none of the kids would get hurt. But for some reason, we forgot about the trap doors. And one time we were doing an assembly and a crew kid left a trap door. He opened it and walked away in the dark. And so some actors that were bringing on those chimney brick things that I was talking about.
Oh, no.
An actor came by and she fell through it. So fortunately, there was a ladder that the chimney sweeps used, and she was holding a set piece. So because of the ladder and the set piece, it actually caught her
Oh, my God.
on the stage, and she didn't fall through, but she was really in shock. And I was on stage when they told me, they're like, India fell through the pit trap door. I'm like, what? And
How could
anyway,
it be?
she was okay, but now we call that trap door India. If you fall through India, that is why. So we have our own lift. It's right here. It's actually in its last leg. If anybody wants to donate something to the theater, time, love, care, I need that. But we might need a new lift, people.
And
Okay.
is it true that whale that it is, anybody who wants it can?
Mm-hmm. Look how cute it is too. Oh my gosh, who wouldn't want this humongous whale taking up your entire stage? Okay, I have pictures though from Little Mermaid. Go look at those pictures. It's a good looking whale.
It is.
All right. So here we are. We're back in the theater. So that was basically under there. But let's just do a couple more little spots that are kind of fun. So over here, this is where the actors, every entrance goes into a hallway. An actor never has to go outside to make an entrance. Sorry, Heaven. So this is just a fun little place right here that the actors usually come in when they do their rehearsals and stuff. We call this Sterling's Cove. Now, I just mentioned this one time because it doesn't have a name. It's so echoey in here. I'm going to get up. It doesn't really have a name. It never has had a name because we just hadn't named it yet. But I kept trying. That door over there behind. It's hard. When it has a name, it's better. So I'm like, we'll just call it Sterling's Cove. And then in Tarzan, all of a sudden, there's a laminated sign that was like up and made it like super, like this is really going to happen.
Official.
So, yeah, it was super official. Sorry. Whoops. Oh, I just turned it back to me because I'm like, oh, we're just fucking upstairs. Should I go this way? Oh, wow. That was so awful. I'm so sorry. That was so awful. So we're walking up to John's territory. He loves this space right here. This is his sound booth. And I'm going to tell you a story. Sorry, I'm trying to switch it back so you don't have to look at me. Where is it? I think I have to go like this.
The whales.
Did you put the whale up for sale?
No, but if anybody wants to buy it, they can.
It's free. It's for sale for free. I cannot figure out how to flip this now. I'm being so dumb. Anyway, here's the sound booth. This is where John sits and stuff. Now, the most interesting part about the sound booth is my husband, Paul, is a sound guy too. He loves sound as well. And which is really great because I get to do the lights, right? And the sets and everything I love to do. But when we were designing it, there was going to be a ladder right here that goes into the first row, and that's how the sound guy would get out. And we're like, that's crazy. The guy needs to get out right here.
Yeah.
So we like do that. But even then, we thought if there's an emergency or something, that we need the people in the booth to be able to go without disrupting the performance. So we came up with the solution. We don't have a catwalk in this entire theater, but for the sound guy who might need to leave for maybe an emergency, we have the catwalk. I have to turn the lights because they're automatic. Come on, there we go. And so we have this catwalk system. This is just for the sound guy. So if he needs to leave, he can get it. So this is basically my ode to my husband. Nobody knows it's here, but this is my ode to Paul. That he gets a whole staircase to himself. Isn't he the cutest?
I love it.
All right. All right. So anyway, we're back up in the lighting booth. So you can see we're up in the big. This is usually where I stand right here. Oops. So I have to go this way. Right here. Usually I'm standing right here and watching the show. It's like my perch, like an eagle watching you. Also, if you're watching the TV while you're watching the show, like if you have your phone on, I love rolling up little pieces of paper and throwing them at you and then hiding them. So if you ever get something thrown at you and you happen to be on your phone, it's probably me, because I think it's so rude. Be nice. Get off your phones.
She sees all. She sees all.
It is. I look at my view. Look at that. I see everything. It's so great. The lighting person gets a really great view. So there's a lot of people don't know this either, but there is a door right here that goes to the second level of the school. This is also so the lighting and crew people can leave without disrupting the audience. So they don't want to be out during intermission. They just come through this door right here, and look at that.
Ta-da.
We're on the second level of LA.
Tony, I've been told I need to ask you what the bar of frustration is.
It is frustrating, actually. I think we just need to build up the light table, but I'll show you it. The bar of frustration is, see, you sit right here in this beautiful chair that we got on this beautiful thing with this beautiful console, and then there's a stupid bar right here, and it blocks your view of the stage. And so the intent of these bars was to put lighting instruments on it so we could easily access them. We ended up putting up higher. I'm not actually sure. My husband says it makes a better angle, but they're frustrating to me because I'm short. I made it so every short people would be happy in this place. Anyway, so technically that's why this bar is here. But yeah, it is very frustrating because you have to like get on your tiptoes to get the bar out of it. You can see it. It's in your way. So that's why I go clear up here and I can look over the bar of frustration. Isn't that clever?
Love it.
I'll show you the most expensive room in this whole theater. Maybe you don't even know what it is.
Ooh.
The most expensive room, not in the theater, in the entire school.
Ooh.
This is this little tiny room is probably, I don't know, maybe 6 feet by 4 feet, maybe. But it has its own cooling system. You can see right here, it's this remote here. And it's all to make sure that the dimmer rack right here, this is the dimmer rack for the lights, stays cool and does not overheat. So this little room has its own cooling system, and the rack itself is worth, I think, $10,000 is how much just that little thing costs. But per square footage, this is the most expensive room in the entire school.
Sounds nice.
Now you know. Let me take you up just one more place. So I'm gonna turn around too. So
you're getting a workout in.
I actually miss this. This was my workout used to be, and now I don't go up and down the theater anymore. It's all gone. For now. Anyway, a lot of people want to know what these are for. They're like, that looks like the coolest place for actors to be. Guys, it's not where the actors go. It's where the lighting people go. It's not made for you. So I'm climbing up a ladder.
With one hand.
I know, with one hand. That's right. I'm comfortable with ladders.
Please don't die.
I won't. Maybe. All right, so here we are. Let's see what's a good angle. So here, we're up in the lighting. So you can see this is where we access all the lighting fixtures up here. And we also store all of our lighting, specialty lighting things down here. Yeah, the actors don't come up here. What's interesting is from this, we built up West Side Story and the Tuck Home so high that this is how I accessed the top of those those set pieces, was from this place because it was so high. It was so great. And the actors loved it, huh? Especially Preston. He was like, put me up higher. I want to go higher. Anyway, you ready? I'm going to walk down. Super crazy.
Please
I
don't.
keep saying we should have a sleepover. Sorry, I know. Going on a crazy ride there. Walking down the ladder. This is a yellow ladder. Why is it yellow? Well, every once in a while, you need a ladder in a play. And so I always take our ladders, cannibalize them, and use them in a play. This was in Go Dog Go. The yellow, it was yellow because of that. Anyway, so that is the tour of our theater. I don't know if anybody has any questions. There's like fun little details, but I think they're more interesting to me than anybody else. I'm just going back to my daughter can have her phone back.
We have some funny Cagney says, "True, you need a door? Call us. You need a door frame? Call us." I love it.
Wait, what'd you say again? Do it again.
True, you need a door? Call us. You need a door frame? Call us. Oh, hi, Lydia. Or Lydia, Sayla. Tony's gone to the other one. Let's put her on. Oh, you're muted. Hold on. You're muted. I can't unmute you.
Got it.
There you go.
That's how we feel when you do sound, is we're like, that actor muted their mic. Just turn it off, honey. That actor muted their mic, and there's nothing we can do about it. That's how we feel about you actors on stage that mess with your mics. Don't touch them.
I love it.
Oh, Elliot Burt's on. Hi, Elliot Burt. I'm Connor Green. Oh, Connor. Hi, Connor.
Running up and down the theater. Yeah. Let's see. Where was the other one? I was terrified of that room. I don't know which room. Like, I would go up the ladder behind the sound booth. Don't know where that was.
Maybe, I don't know, the light booth, maybe?
I remember when we had to move all those things from one place to another.
Many times. half of crew is cleaning and moving.
Yeah. We have some fun time-lapse videos of taking down stuff. You want to watch those?
Yes, please.
Let's do well here we can do this. This is the grid, since we talked about the grid. The boys,
bonus.
Right? In the grid.
I love that clip.
I love it.
That's from the last time we did Les Mis. We had these boys helping us rig things, and they were just up there singing, so I filmed them doing that. I love that film. You can see it on our Instagram if you want to see more of it.
Yeah. And then I have this. We'll watch the set, but this, since we talked about lights, is Isaac pressing go.
We tease that the light guy's job is kind of boring because he just pushes go, but that's not true. You have to push go at the right moment.
Yeah.
And when we're in the show, they learn how to program all the lights and stuff like that too, because they're constantly fixing mistakes I make in my cue or ideas I want to put into it. The funny part about that clip, though, is I'm like, yeah, watch him press go. And I distract him so much he actually missed the cue.
I love that. Someone who, let's see, it was one of the, it was Adam. Long time ago at the beginning, he put, once I turned on the light bulb and all the light cues were gone. Super stressful.
It was so scary. I've never seen that happen before. And I'm like, Adam, you're not in trouble. Just think, what did you do? What did you do? And so Paul has taught me one important thing with crew or any technical anything. If there's ever a problem, turn it off and then turn it back on again. And 90% of the time that works. So that's what we did. And fortunately it worked. It was such a relief. Poor Adam's the nicest kid too. He was so stressed out. So was I. I'm like, what are we going to do?
Okay. So this is, it's bye-bye to the tree, right? In Tuck.
Yes. Sorry, you people. We should watch this in reverse.
I know. It would be more satisfying in reverse. That is true.
Look how fast it comes down. Ooh.
Kind of cool to see the the bones basically of what it, because it doesn't look like that when it's done.
Nope.
Pretty
And all
cool.
that safety there too. It was so great. That tree, I was so proud of that tree. I was really nervous about building a tree, but it ended up working out really, really well.
Yeah. And this, I stole this off Facebook, was, I think, Strike for Les Mis, I think. You don't know I have this one.
I am excited. This is actually Strike for Beauty and the Beast.
Oh.
But it's elements of the bridge we turned into a castle, and the two sides, we only took down one side because we used that second side for Princess Academy.
Ah.
Whenever I build my sets, design the sets, there's 3 big shows from June, October, and December. And, buy sweet sets. And so I designed them to be fluid. So like the Les Mis sets will go into the Newsy sets, which will go into the Matilda sets. And then usually I start again. But it's too fast and furious for us, and at the expenses too. So watch those 3 shows and see if you can see how they all tie together.
Yeah. We have some. I love the time lapse. Seriously, so cool. Love watching Little Shot from the Lighting Booth. So, yeah.
Yeah, interesting fact. When those light cues went out, like people don't realize this, but designing the lights, it takes about probably 2 or 3 days to focus all the lights, right? That's just focusing. And then it takes me about 6 to 8 hours for each act to actually cue the light. So it takes, a lot of time to put those light cues and stuff like that in. The nice part about it, though, is usually if you're in a show, if you notice they have a tech rehearsal and they'll do a light cue show where they'll be like, stop, and they cue it, stop. And it's just for the people to cue off of you. But because I'm the director most of the time, I work really well with myself, and I'm able to cue the lights without the actors having to be there. So it's kind of a luxury. We use our time a little bit more wisely because of that little factor.
Yeah, I love these before and after pictures you sent me. I think this is Tarzan before, and then you add lights. Wow.
Yeah, I love those. I'll do that after I work a hard day. I'll go into the audience and I'll find my special sweet spot where I can take a picture of it. Tarzan was hard because we built onto the sides to actually get the whole thing in. But
there's the before of the tree we saw, and then them in the tree.
Oh, aren't they the cutest? And they were so brave to go up way on top. I only said you only have to go up one time, but you got to go to the top of the world. Like you can't not go all the way. We had all these safety branches. I'm like, hold here, touch here. We do it really safe. And if you notice when we were undoing the tree, there were all these safety railings along the way that you didn't notice because they were black and stuff. So they were really safe.
Yeah. People are saying, and when you focus lights, the crew moves.
Yes, sometimes we have to focus lights, and they'll be my actors. Because when I do the intelligent lights, I actually need actors to do that part of it. It's really hard to do it. Like sometimes in West Side Story, I actually use the mannequins. I'd put the mannequins in a spot so that I knew where the lights were. But the kids are so cute. They crew becomes my actors when I'm doing intelligent lighting. When I'm not using them, they play funny games on the stage. They're the best. I love crew kids. They celebrate the coolest things.
I love that. I think that's...
I hear Newsies. Yes, Seth, ELA is doing Newsies. Not Kensington, but Harriman's doing it next year. I don't know if they're re-auditioning people, but they're doing it next year.
True. We have one more, two more videos. One of, we can show this one, lighting with the snow for Peter Pan.
Oh, this Beautiful. Is a sad one.
Yeah.
I was so excited. I worked so hard to get that snow working. And if you Peter Pan, you're like, we had snow. It worked the very first performance, and then it stopped working altogether. It was so sad, but it was so beautiful because it's supposed to be winter when they go to Neverland. And
that's
anyway,
what it's supposed to look like.
Wasn't it beautiful though? I was like, I'm so sad it didn't work.
The last video is the turntable. The revolving.
Oh yeah, Paul building the rotating stage.
Yeah.
Sayla, where's Sayla? We'll set up.
All right, let's watch
Sayla,
it.
get on the desk here. I'm gonna rotate you.
Don't worry, they come back. I promise. There they are.
The life of a show. Paul does those things because he's so meticulous. Yeah, isn't he good?
Pretty
Paul is
cool.
so good. All right, here we're gonna do so this is the rotating stage. See if I can put Sayla in the background. Can you see Sayla there?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna rotate for you. It's really loud. There she goes. It's slow, but she's on the inside too, so you can't see her as fast. This is what Sterling had to deal with, and Zoe, during Little Shop of Horrors, over and over and over again. And guess who gets to deal with it, Les Mis? Jacob Berry and Sterling Turner.
He's like
The rotating stage. We'll stop it. That's good enough. But yeah, it's the rotating stage. We actually have to amp it up a little bit and build it out. But you saw that. It's gonna be so.
What's going to be on the rotating stage for Les Mis?
Well, a lot of times when people ask that, I go to my model and I do Les Mis for you. Do you want me to do Les Mis for you?
Sure.
Really? It's one of my favorite things. I think I'm obnoxious, but we'll see. Sayla, come here. I need you. Why? Oh, wait, it's right here. I forgot. I brought it out. Where am I going? Okay, you remember that little model thing that we did?
Yeah.
So we're right here. Maybe I can just do it. Can you guys see? Is that? I can't even tell.
We're a little close.
Oh, no, you're good.
Oh, okay.
Like, you can see it, right? So
Yeah,
we doesn't fall.
See about half of it, but
Like, okay, pull it out a little bit.
perfect.
Okay, ready? So it starts like this. And then, okay, so you do, ready? You go. So the first there's going to be guys on the docks right here, and they're going to be like, how does it start? What's the OEO thing?
Look down.
Okay, so look down, rotate. I'm Javert and I go away. And then he gets really sad, and then he comes in here and he goes, oh, come in, suffer, you are welcome. And the night is cold out there. And now you're inside my chapel, Dean. And then he goes away. And then take the silver because you are poor and God has saved you. And then it goes away. And then
This is recorded.
the calf. Then he meets Fantine, and then you're in the workhouse again. We're a workhouse. Nothing much but tables and chairs and things like that. And then Fantine does her thing. And then she dies. There's a bed. I haven't built it yet, but she dies on the bed. It'll rotate. And then when Javert comes in, it'll be backwards, stuff like that. And then little Cosette will come in and she'll do her little thing there, And then the people look down, look down. Oh, but first we'll have, this is broken. Put him over here. When Javert does his thing, where you throw the paper.
Yeah.
And not Javert, Valjean.
Yeah.
He'll throw it from there, that kind of thing. Because this is the detachable part and the other part's static. I call these the docks. Anyway, and then he'll do it. And then we come in and then we're like, oh, I am romantic and I'm Rue Plumet and a heart full of love. And so then they fall in love and stuff like that. And then the barricade comes in Act 2. And they're like, ah. And then they have the war and people die and then it will rotate. So we'll have soldiers and stuff, but this time we get to rotate it so we can see little Gavroche, what he does on the other side. It'll be a little bit better that way because it was intended to be that way.
I'll cry.
Yeah. Sorry. Well, spoiler there. Well, everybody dies if that helps. And so anyway, and then this goes off. And then we have the sewers. I'm hoping to do a drop for that. So here's the sewer. Dog eats the dog. That song. And then we go back to it. Anyway, then Javert dies too. Sorry, commit suicide off of this one. 2 feet taller than the one Joff jumped off.
Jean Valjean.
Jean Valjean. So whoever gets to be Javert this time, I hope you like heights, and I hope you're as daring as Geoffrey Beckstrand. Maybe Geoffrey Beckstrand will be your stunt double. This is ABC Cafe, so that'll move in like that. And then they come in and they're like, do you hear a red, the color of a lie? Red is another color of another lie. Anyway, just so you know, I'm incredibly good at the wrong lyrics.
This is so good.
Right? And then, anyway, then he dies, things like that. So, typical Limes. I'm sorry, that must have been so dull. That
was so good.
That was Les Mis, but again, it's kind of fun because I'm do you want to call Isaac? He just called. Because I design the sets and I light the sets and I direct them a lot of the times too. Like I'm super cohesive with myself. And so, it is like, it's fun when other people direct and things like that. That's super great. But the visions are so tight in these because I know them so well. Do you know what I mean? I build them, I light them, I choreograph on them, I direct them. Encore. Thanks, Emily. I've actually done, I think, for my crew once before. I don't know. I'm like, do you want to see me act out Les Mis? Standing O. You guys are way too nice to me. Thank you. But anyway, it's kind of fun because when I design it, I could be like, okay, this is how I'm going to utilize this set, and this is how I'm going to do this, and it's really, really fun. So guess what I get to do tonight? Want to know?
Yes.
So hopefully I'm going to open up my email. I'm going to see a blast of Les Mis auditions that should be in my email, the contact at Kensington Theater. And I get to watch those all tomorrow with Aaron, maybe Logan. I don't know if you're coming to the viewing party, but if you want to, you are welcome because you're on the production team. Logan's on the production team, everybody. And but I also, tonight I'm going to go home and I have to break down the casting and stuff like that. That's part of it too, to figure out how many girls we need, how many boys we need. What are we going to do to make this thing sell and sell safely? Because guys, here we go.
They have like an hour and a half before the auditions are due. So if you're not and you're watching and you haven't filmed it, you better send it in.
Yeah. And good luck. Seriously, we love you guys. And half of you, not even half of you, 3/4 of you were registered.
Yeah, in the show.
Yeah, that's all you have to do is just show us your talent. That's all you have to do. And seriously, this show is just so fun. And we're actually going to do something crazy. I don't know if you guys heard, but like the Shakespeare Festival, they announced that they were closing their season today. We're super sad about that. Yeah. And so we're like, oh, theater, can we make it live? So you guys, we're going to do everything we can to make this one live. And big part of that is making Les Mis thrive through crew. So we're going to have crew days. We're going to have to. So you people that are missing crew, guess what? If you're an ELA student, you can't come back and help out until after school gets out, but then you can help out. And if you are one of the graduates like Sterling or Jacob or Brooklyn, then you can come and help. We just do it in small groups, like under 5 people here, and we work on it. So if you're missing crew, we'll get you doing some stuff.
And crew has a vital role in the success and the safety of Les Mis, with sanitizing and making sure that the actors are safe. Well, not only structurally, but also healthy, right? Healthy, safe.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things we tell the crew kids. I mean, there's so many funny things I tell the kids. Like, I gave them an assignment. Did you guys like your crew assignment? I did sayings. Half of them were mine and half of them were just crew sayings of things that we say in crew. I don't know if you guys remember any of them, but type them in. You can tell them what they are. But one of the ones is just protecting the actors. That I say actors are stupid all the time. I don't mean that by like they are stupid as much as, but they just aren't thinking about safety ever. And so I'm like, if there's a way for an actor to kill themselves, they will kill themselves or hurt themselves might be a better way of saying it. But so they're always looking for ways. I'm like, ooh, tape that off. Somebody will get scratched on that. Ooh, there's something sticking out. Make sure that that's gone. Those actors are going to die.
Yeah. And in the moment,
on the set.
And in the moment when you're acting, you have other things you think about. So that's very helpful, right?
Yes. Yeah. You don't want you to worry about that. And you don't want things to happen. The saddest things that do happen, though, is when we miss things and they actually do get hurt. That's heartbreaking.
Yeah. Should we bring some of these people back on? We lost.
Oh, please.
We lost a Joff, but we'll do
it. We lose Joff anyway, don't we?
We usually lose Joff.
We usually do.
Even when he's here.
Yeah. Okay, so those who didn't. Or anybody that has another idea once you've seen all this stuff, like, why is crew important? What does crew mean to you? I love that question. Anybody?
Connor,
Jacob already went. Brooklyn and Cassandra.
All right. No, you go.
Okay. So I had experience like outside of Kensington doing crew. I'm not a lot, but mostly just stage managing or assistant stage managing. And coming into, I think what Kensington crew means to me is kind of where I'm going to go, because crew has always been really fun for me to see the other side, because I did start out as acting and that's kind of more of my passion. But I think coming into Kensington and just the love that everybody has, on that side with crew, and like the way that Tony structures her crew, I always knew what was expected of me, and I think all the crew kids always know what is expected of them, the way that they're supposed to act when they're there, and also the respect that's given to crew that Tony implements from day one with the actors. Because I think in a lot of places you see mistreatment of crew, or not respecting crew, or just not even really thinking that they have a big part. And so I think for me, crew is meant like somewhere I can flourish and be trusted to make my own mark on a show and try and put my own touch into things, and like be very trusted and have this support of crew of people behind me willing to help me. But then it's hard to explain unless you I know you guys know what I'm talking about.
No, it's fun. I think one of my favorite things to tell a stage manager is, because I know I'm like small and I have this high pitched voice and chubby cheeks, but like I don't know, kids are scared of me, and the actors are pretty scared of me because I'm pretty strict. But I love them. I think most of them know that. I love you, but I'm going to expect a lot out of you. But one of my favorite things to tell a stage manager is you have permission to say I am coming, even if I'm not coming ever. Like you can go like Tony's coming. And then because they respond so great to it. I shouldn't have maybe said that. You actors probably shouldn't know that. I'm like, use me if you need me.
Yeah, no, I think, I don't know how to explain it all. And I had this all thought up beforehand, and now when I'm talking, it's fine. But I don't know. I just love the family that crew is, and just how hard everybody works and how respectful the crew is towards the actors. And how, they're willing to just take an assignment. They're like, I need you to do this immediately. And they're like, no question, they'll go do it. I still, to this day, remember that Les Mis mishap that happened. And the bridge, or the stairs to the bridge got stuck in like the vents or whatever. And I looked at Jacob and I was like, I think you were my only crew kid in that show. I think I was. Yeah. And then it was just all actors. I looked at him and I was like, we need to get this fixed now. And he's like, okay, here's what we can do. And he went and put it into action, and I got some, and he's like, I just need some actors to help. And I wish I had a video of it, because it was just like, no, I mean, John was sitting in the sound booth, had no idea anything was happening back there, but he's on stage. Like, I don't know. And that's just the thing about crew. It just showed me that like crew is so important to a show, and there's such a heart behind them, not witness as much as the people that are on stage. And I just love being a part of that and gaining that new perspective, and also having more confidence in myself and the ideas that I have and the way that I can run a show, even when there's mishaps of the orchestra starting because I gave them the wrong cue in West Side Story, or the sun not going off. You know, you have days where things just don't work, and I mean, you're in charge of it. You got to fix it, but you know, the heart is there, and I think that's why I love crew so much.
Love it. That's great. So great. Brooklyn.
I think, I don't know, as we've been talking, I've gotten like a ton of memories back or whatever. I remember when I graduated from early lights to 9th grade, it wasn't like a class anymore. It was 100% optional. It wasn't like, oh, I'm getting graded for putting in so many hours. But I missed it. And I remember walking in at the end of that summer just because there hadn't been anything to do. And I just like stood in the doors for a second. And I was just like, just so happy and like content to be there. Just because like it felt like 100% like my space, as well as like I knew where everything was. I knew what to do if something happened. I knew who was there. Like I walked in for a rehearsal the first time, I think for Peter Pan, and half the cast knew who I was. I was so excited that I was doing it because I didn't tell them. And it's just a fun place to be.
Yeah, I love it. Cool.
I love. Sorry. One more story, Victor. Just one more story. I'm so sorry. I just love crew so much. I love crew. I love acting, but the best part about a show is when they're cohesive. Like, there's nothing better than that. When the crew loves the cast and the cast loves the crew and the orchestra too. It's just, there's nothing more beautiful than putting that kind of gift up in front of an audience. And my first experience with how amazing this was when I was at East High School. I'll tell my kids about this a lot, but we were doing South Pacific, and we were doing a matinee performance, and the people who came to see the matinee performance were late, and a half hour late. So we started a half hour late. And then at intermission, it was 11:30, and they're like, just so you know, we're leaving at 12 no matter what. And I'm like, that's rude, first of all. But second of all, I'm like, okay, what are we going to do? So I'm like, you know what? I'll just get on headset. I'll get on headset. I'll talk to my crew. I'll explain what's going to happen. We'll make some cuts really, really fast. And then my stupid orchestra director, I love him to death, but without me cueing him, without me giving the cue, he started the orchestra up. He started the entr'acte to the South Pacific. So now we had a half hour to do an hour act. And I'm like, what are we going to do? This is insane. There's 100 people in this cast. There's 40 people in the orchestra. There's 15 people in the crew. It was just insane. And so I got on a headset and jumped into the pit and says, give me a script. So they gave me a script. And so it was the coolest experience ever. Is I just started giving my stage manager what to do next. And then the crew would jump to cues. And then the actors would jump lines, and then we would jump songs, and then we would jump I'm like, get to the back, it's the finale, or we're moving to this, cut this monologue, go here, crew, make sure you get this on right now. So it was basically like landing this plane, that was going to crash in front of this live audience. Wow. And so we finally got done with it after just this crazy mishap at 11:55. And then the audience was clueless that we cut anything. And I'm like, guys, this is what's so cool is the audience is great for the gift that you can give them, but the magic that goes behind to make it happen, that's why we do it, right? I think Jacob said that, or it's the magic that we get to create for people. And I think that's when I truly, truly fell in love with crew, because I had never really done it too much before I taught at East. Anyway, story.
Crew to me is just that. Crew to me is that magic. I love theater and I love seeing shows and I love seeing the show for what happens on stage, but to see a show for everything else is awesome. I love coming in, it's usually 2 weeks before the show opens, and I see it about that stage and I think, this needs some work. And then throughout that 2 weeks, just to see it come together and see set changes start coming together and running smoothly, start to see all those final pieces come in, Tony getting the lights in, and just to see all that magic build up. I love opening night and the curtain opening and just here we go. That's honestly why I love it. It's so fun.
One of my favorite games to play with my own kids, and you're my favorite actors if you do this, just so you know, is when I work on the set all day. Like I just I'll be working on the sets, and then my kids will walk in and be like, "Hey, what's new? What's new? What did I do today?"
She does that to me too.
Yeah,
I'll walk in before a performance and she'll be like, or before rehearsal, what's new?
Yeah, and
I turn around, I'm like, I don't know.
But it's the actors who don't know that game with me, and they play it, and they didn't even know it. They're like, "Oh my gosh, you put up this today," or "Oh my gosh, this got added." I'm like, "You're now my favorite. Thank you." I love that.
The inside scoop.
Yeah, I just love it that they appreciate the little teeny details that you're taking so much time to put into, because the crew, they worked hard. I love it when the cast gives crew accolades and treats or something. I love that.
Yeah, I love it. Well, this has been so fun to celebrate crew, and I love all the comments of I miss the theater and I miss walking around in the theater and being in the theater. So this, I think, this was a fun idea and a good thing that we were able to do it. And yeah, for those of you who aren't watching, who aren't crew, now you know all the stuff that crew goes through to make.
Come play on crew. It's just as much fun.
So much
if
fun.
not more.
I am picky about who's on my crew, though, just so you know.
She is. This is very true.
Not just everybody. You need to be trained, and it's important that you know me and my style, because my style may not be your style.
I love it. Hey, look, we've found Joff.
Hello. Sorry, guys.
My style.
Thanks. I'm glad.
All right. Well, will you help me say goodbye to everybody, and we'll see them on Thursday. Thursday, we're gonna do the Lion King Junior. The little Lion Junior.
Brooklyn and I were like, "Oh, our hearts."
Lion Junior.
Stage manager. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm so glad too. The kids are always talking about Lion King. They loved it so much.
Such a fun show. Such a fun show.
Yeah. So come back on Thursday at 7, Lion King Junior, and then of course Saturday at 7 is Improvinators again. You don't want to miss it. Oh look!
I'll be here for Lion King.
Woohoo!
Hey!
All right. See you later, everybody.
Thanks, Logan.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, Logan.
Oh, I didn't see that.